Okay, here's a Fender Deluxe Reverb that I got. It has some continuous kind of hum in it, and the hum issue has to do with these two 100 ohm resistors. Go from both of these connectors on the low voltage DC line that feeds the lamp. Also, it continues here, and this feeds basically the heater elements and all the tubes. But both of these connections here going to the lamp housing, and you can see the other ends of these resistors are there. I haven't taken those off yet. They're both going to this ground right here, and they take a lot of hum from this filament system out of just the general signal that you will have, no matter what the setting is. Just a little hum. There are some old amps that have that amount of hum anyway, but why not get rid of it? But spotting these already broken in half ceramic 100 ohm resistors, I went, well, those go for a reason. Somebody has shorted and overloaded into here. And one thing these do by breaking is they protect a current surge and a short from wrecking up the actual transformer of your amp, which will be a couple $100. One thing I did find and notice was just some signs. You can see some of these contacts here on one of the tubes, one of the tube sockets, all these nice contacts. These tube sockets should be fairly clean and orderly. This one has some fuzzy material that you can see right back there, and sort of some burnt wire. And that's a sign to me that possibly maybe when this amp was originally put together, maybe some solder was a little close on those two pins, and you got an arc happening. When that happened, that probably caused these resistors to fail. Although that's good, because that stops bad things from happening to expensive components of the amp. And it also explains when I check the tubes out, which I have on this amp. This is a 1978. All the tubes are actually even stamped with Fender markings on them. They are tubes made for Fender, all except for the tube that's in this position. This tube was replaced, and it's not one of the original tubes. So either somebody was dabbling in here, or it just eventually happened. We had an arc happening here, a little mini explosion. These resistors blew, and of course it probably destroyed the functionality of the tube that was there originally. Somebody plugged in a new tube, and the sound came back, although with a hum, and that's just sort of continued that way until I've gotten the amp. All the resistors and all the capacitors in this amp look like they're original. I've used some deoxic spray to clean up the pots here for all the controls. This model does have the push-pull. Don't really need to use the pull overdrive portion. And these are all nicely, smoothly operating now. Everything else looks original and in good shape. I've cleaned some of the connections also with deoxit. Other than that, we're going to replace these resistors with some wire round resistors. These are 100 ohm, 1/2 watt. So I got some of those, and got a whole set of resistors actually. They're pretty cheap. You may as well buy a set of them. And I'll evaluate if any of these wires look not in good contact or nasty. I might re-clip and re-solder those on. But that'll be the fix for the amp.